Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we're having a look at Raging Surf. Raging Surf is, of course, the upcoming Japanese expansion of the Pokémon trading card game. And it seems we've got some information. Now, Raging Surf it's been a set that I've long suggested would be a Goldengo set. And the reason I've suggested it's going to be a Goldengo set is really quite simple. Goldengo literally has a surfboard, and the set's called Raging Surf. But Goldengo's also a very special Pokemon. Goldengo is number 1000 in the Pokedex. Obviously, we know there's all the stuff with Pokemon Go and how that was brought in a very special way and it had its own promotion and all of that. Goldengo isn't your everyday run-of-the-mill average Pokemon. I think it's fair to say. Goldengo is special, and it's a legendary Pokemon, the special Pokemon that generally tend to get their own sets. So we hear Raging Surf, we haven't had a Goldengo card yet, it's Pokemon number 1000, it has a surfboard, and I've made this point before, but I do think it bears repeating. Good predictions can be wrong, and bad predictions can be right. The classic example of a bad prediction being right that I like to go to is when Melanie was released in the Pokemon trading card game, and the full art Melanie had an Ultra Ball, and a bunch of people used this to predict that there would be an Ultra Ball reprint. Now, that was a bad prediction, because Melanie has an Ultra Ball in the artwork, because Melanie has an Ultra Ball in the video game. That wasn't a hint that Ultra Ball was coming back, that was literally just, oh no, it's Melanie, we're making accurate artwork, Melanie uses Ultra Balls. Like, that was the whole point, that was the reason. But then 3 sets later, in Sword and Shield 9, in Brilliant Stars, we actually did get a reprint of Ultra Ball, but it wasn't heralded by the Melanie artwork, it just so happened that we were getting a reprint of Ultra Ball 3 sets after Melanie had an artwork that was accurate to the video game. Bad prediction, ended up being right. Good predictions can be wrong. And I still think there's a decent chance for Goldengo getting an EX in Raging Surf. And I'm still hearing whispers on Japanese Twitter about people thinking Goldengo is getting an EX in Raging Surf. But it turns out we are getting a water-type Tera Garchomp. Yeah, now as a side note, if they are going to start naming TCG sets after random Pokemon getting a Tera type, we stand no chance. Like, I've been pretty good over the past few years looking at Japanese set names and figuring out what the theme of the set, the main Pokemon, are from the set name. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but pretty good, I think it's fair to say. My hit rate has been pretty good. If they're going to do stuff like, oh yeah, we're going to call it Raging Surf because it's Water Tera type Garchomp, nobody stands a chance with that now, do they? No. So it seems to me that's what we're getting. How do I know? How do I know that's what we're getting? Because we've had a bunch of merchandise listed. There is a bunch of merchandise listed for release on September the 22nd, and it includes premium gloss deck sleeves featuring water-type Tera Garchomp, costing 990 yen. That is your standard price for gloss sleeves, bit more expensive than the normal ones. A water Tera type Garchomp deck box for 500 yen, and a water Tera type Garchomp rubber playmat for 2,970 yen, all of which these are the regular prices you would expect to pay. Now, I suppose it's fair to say this is not a guarantee, but look at the evidence we've got mounting up here. We've got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of accessories, products, call them what you will, releasing on the same day as we've been told by distributor listings that Raging Surf is going to be released. We've seen for years now that products released on the same day as a set feature Pokemon from the set, and then the merch we've got is featuring a Water Tera type Garchomp coming out on the same day as a set named Raging Surf. This is not actual official confirmation that Raging Surf is featuring water-type Tera Garchomp, but I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen, come on! This is about as conclusive as it could possibly get at this stage. Like I say, it's not been officially confirmed, it won't be for a little while yet, we'll get to the Japanese release calendar in a moment, But there is at this stage basically no chance whatsoever this isn't what we end up having. This is basically a given. And this is interesting, of course, because we've got Ruler of the Black Flame coming pretty soon. That is a set. Now, at the moment in Japan, they're doing the release run-up for Pokemon card 151. That is what is currently being released. That is what is currently being shown off. When they're done with that, we imagine, although they could go slightly earlier, but that would be unusual. Possible, but unusual. That's when they're going to be starting that's Sword and Shield 2A. Sword and Shield 3 is Ruler of the Black Flame. That's when we should start seeing the spoilers coming out for that, the reveals coming out for that. Makes perfect sense. But we already know, again, from listings and things of that nature, that Charizard is getting a Darkness type Tera card, which is going to be coming in Ruler of the Black Flame. Again, we've seen this from merchandise listings, etc. over in Japan. And Ruler of the Black Flame is what is starting this. That is a set, the first set, where they are basically we're going away from this. Because, if you look at, for instance, Scarlet and Violet as an example, we've got 2 Tera Pokemon in that set. We've got Gyarados, but that's a water type just like Gyarados is. And we've got Arcanine, but that's a fire type just like Arcanine is. The Tera Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet have they have their correct typings. And we also see that all the cards that are coming in Paldea Evolved, we're going to see the exact same thing. Ruler of the Black Flame is the set where they're basically going away from that for the first time, and they're giving us Pokemon with unusual typings. Charizard is not a Darkness type Pokemon. Garchomp is not a Water type Pokemon. They are starting to go away from that, and I kind of love this. Now, it's worth noting that over in Japan, we have been having exactly 1 Tera type Pokemon per set. Scarlet and Violet was a double set in Japan, 2 separate sets, and we got ourselves Arcanine and Gyarados. If we go to the mini set that came after that, we got Triple Beat, and in Triple Beat we got exactly 1 Tera type Pokemon. For anyone that's interested, it's Dedenne. In Japan, we've had 1 per set. So the implication is that in Ruler of the Black Flame, we're getting Darkness type Tera Charizard and that's it. And then in Raging Surf, we'll get Water type Tera Garchomp, but that will be it. Also worth pointing out, this will be Scarlet and Violet 3A over in Japan. So the set that we get after Paldea Evolved will be Scarlet and Violet 3, currently unrevealed, currently unnamed. That will not have the Garchomp in, it will have the Charizard, but it won't have the Garchomp. That's going to be a bit too early. As I've said, this isn't 100% confirmed, but we've been doing this a while now. Our hit rate's been basically perfect. When I say we, I'm talking about, myself, the lovely Primal Lugia, the lovely Matthew Varive Immunity, all the lovely people who help us out with stuff like this. Because if you follow the Japanese merch and you follow the release dates, this all makes absolute perfect sense. It would be a gigantic coincidence that just wouldn't happen if we ended up getting a bunch of Water-type Tera Garchomp merch releasing on the same day as the set Raging Surf, and this wasn't the Tera Pokemon from the set. That would just be... That just doesn't happen, let's be perfectly clear. So where does that leave us in terms of releases then? Well, the next set coming out is Pokemon Card 151, Scarlet and Violet 2A, which has an official release date of June the 16th. That is out there, that is official, that is legit. That is a thing. We then have Ruler of the Black Flame, Scarlet and Violet 3, which is coming out on July the 28th. That set has not yet been announced, but we do have numerous distributor listings, etc. The set has been listed all over in Japan, so although it's not been officially revealed yet, enough places have listed it with that date, and again, we've done this before and it's always worked out in the past. Raging Surf then comes next, Scarlet and Violet 3A, that has a listing of September the 22nd. Again, we've known that for a little while. This has been listed by a bunch of Japanese shops. That information is out there. And again, there's no guarantee that it won't be changed, but it would be highly irregular if it was changed. Now, after that, that's where things get a little bit more awkward. We've got the double set Flash of the Future and Ancient Raw, which we assume is going to be Scarlet and Violet 4, and we assume is going to be in October. The reason is Pokemon in Japan are doing 2 months on, 1 month off. So there was no set in August. So we get Raging Surf in September, Flash of the Future Ancient Roar in October, then we have No Set in November, we then have Shiny Treasure, which is this year's V-Star Universe, coming in Scarlet and Violet 4A, which we assume is going to be December, because again, we've taken November off, and then Scarlet and Violet 5, the double set Wild Force and Cyber Judge, which is Scarlet and Violet 5 coming in January. Not official. These ones, essentially what we've done is we've seen trademarks being filed in Japan, but you know, we've been doing this for years at this stage. If you follow the trademarks, that's not perfect, and sometimes things do get, switched around, but generally speaking, if you follow the trademarks, you can make yourself a pretty good release map. And honestly, we've been pretty good up to now. So that's the news, that's what we've got. I am personally hyped for Water-type Tera Garchomp. And look, Garchomp is one of those Pokemon that gets love in the Pokemon TCG. Pokemon were always going to give Garchomp an EX, because Garchomp always gets everything. Obviously, there was a Garchomp V in the Sword and Shield era. And then obviously there was a tag team Garchomp in the GX era, and I'm not going to keep going back, you get the point. The point is, Garchomp always gets love. That's what happens. People love Garchomp, Pokemon love Garchomp, it gets love. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how excited you are for the Garchomp. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Andy White, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to Andy for the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.